Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're dropping by for the first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am Ntwanano, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back. So today we are talking a little bit about money. We're talking a little bit about finances and budgeting, investing, saving, especially for young professionals who have just sort of entered into this world of work and have started or recently started earning a salary. But I mean, even if you're a student and you're looking for ways to sort of make your money stretch a little bit longer, this video could be for you. So we're gonna be looking at that, and we're gonna maybe unpack a little bit of things that I do that have helped me to sort of make my money grow or make my money go a little bit further in the month. So if you're really keen on this video and would like to see more, keep on watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button, to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get on to the video. So the first thing that I think we need to establish is the fact that we all have different relationships with money. We all behave differently when it comes to money, and we see money differently, right? So I could be someone who saves a lot. I could be someone who's a saver, an investor, and a person who's trying by all means not to live hand to mouth. And you could be somebody who literally just wants to live their best life with their money, and you buy whatever makes you happy, and which is good. And so we first need to acknowledge the fact that we have different relationships when it comes to money. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss that really helped me was saving, and saving a fixed amount every month. So when I started working, I've always been a saver, even from university. The little money that I got from my parents, I would save a bit of it. So when I started working, it wasn't a new habit that I had to develop. It was sort of, I had to take it to a higher level type of saving, because now I had to save directly from my salary. So I used to put a fixed amount of money every month away in a savings account. So I have the Investec private account. So in there is there's a transactional account and there's a savings account. So I put my money into the savings account, which I'm saving, and everything else stays in my transactional, because that's what I use to on a daily basis. So I'm not a person who would save money and then at the end of the month, when I'm stranded, I transfer it back. I've never been that person. I've always been disciplined with my money. If I decide that this month I'm gonna save 1,000 or 2,000 rand, it's gonna be there and it's gonna sit there for as long as I'm saving it for. So maybe if you're somebody who battle a little bit with leaving money in a savings account, maybe try get a fixed account and put money in there and let it be fixed, maybe for a period of 12 months, and then after 12 months you can have access to it. I don't know, maybe let me know down in the comments, like, what kind of saver are you? Are you the person who transfers and leaves it there, or are you the person who transfers and then little by little you're transferring it back to your transactional? I'm really interested in hearing what kind of person you are when it comes to that kind of saving. So that is the first point, right? Saving a fixed amount. The second point for me was increasing my savings gradually as the year went, and also emptying out my bank account at the end of the month. So how this works for me is, after every 2 to 3 months, I review my savings and say, okay, in the past 2 to 3 months I've saved for example 1,000 rand, and at the end of the month I realize that I have maybe 600 rand left in my account. So I'm gonna increase my savings with 600 rand, so that at the end of the month I have nothing left. That's basically how I do it. So I increase my savings gradually after every 2 to 3 months, and at the end of the month, if I still have money left, I empty out my bank account. So the day before payday, I sit there with my phone and I transfer whatever is in there into my savings account, so that when fresh money comes in on payday, it comes in and there's nothing more, and then we start the cycle all over again. So that's how I sort of try to increase my savings. Another thing that I do is I see my travel claim as a different stream of income. So what I mean by this is, if you're in audit and if you're traveling to clients at the and month end, you have your salary that is a normal salary that you get, and you also have a travel claim that you claim for traveling to the client, to and from the client, right? So that money, the travel claim money, I see it as a different stream of income. So I treat it like that as well. I know it's not entirely independent, in the fact in a perspective that if I happen to lose my job, I'm obviously gonna lose that travel claim money. But for now, as I have it, I see it as a different source of income. So I sort of save that travel claim money as well. So I have my normal savings, which comes from my salary, and I also have my savings, which is made up of my travel claim. Trust me, if you're in first year and you're working on this methodology of saving your travel claim, you could have a substantial amount of money at year end. Yeah, it's amazing what the travel claim money can do for you. And then another thing that I have done also is grocery shopping. So let's talk about grocery shopping a little bit. When I was younger and I was still staying at home, I used to go grocery shopping with my mom all the time. And we would buy things in bulk. And mainly because we were a family of 5 people, so would use up groceries quite frequently. So we'd buy things like 2 kgs of tomatoes, or would buy groceries in bulk. We'll buy like maybe 5 tins of baked beans or whatever. So when I started living alone and I started cooking for myself, I realized I don't actually need to buy so much groceries. In fact, I don't even need to buy groceries month end. What I normally do is I buy groceries weekly, right? So every Saturday I'd go out and I'd buy groceries for the following week, and the groceries would be very specific to what I want to eat that week. So if I decide I'm gonna make for example mince and macaroni, for example, I'm gonna buy mince and I'm gonna buy whatever I need to cook the mince, and I'm gonna buy macaroni and whatever I need to cook the macaroni, and whatever salad that I'll be using. So this sort of helps you to minimize your cost when it comes to groceries, because you're now not buying a lot of things in bulk. Like if you buy 2 kg of tomatoes, they're just gonna sit there and go bad, because how often do you even use tomatoes when you cook, right? And there are some foods that don't really stay for that long. So if you're intentional every week and you decide based on what you're gonna eat, if you decide this week I'm eating takeaways, then there's no need to buy groceries that week. You can use that money to get a McDonald's or to get Nando's or whatever it is that you buy. So that's one other thing that has helped me so much to cut down on my grocery spending. I've also cut down on my petrol, in the sense that I only pour petrol once a week, you guys. I don't go up month end and fill up my car. No, I fill up my car every week. So how this works is basically on Sunday I take my car for a wash and I fill it up full tank. I fill up my car full tank 4 times a month, and it's much cheaper to have a full tank in your car than to put in 100 rand and 200 rand every now and then. It's just so much cheaper, and your car uses fuel more efficiently when it's fuller than when you're operating on a got an empty tank. You know what I mean? So that's how I do it. And then the other thing is investing. So when I started working, I opened up a unit trust account with a financial institution, and I invested, I think at the time it was around 500 rand a month, which increases every year. So with investing, it's very tricky. You need to be very sure about what you're investing in, and you need to know what the financial institution is going to invest your money in. You need to know how you're going to make returns out of your investment. So an investment is not, you don't do it because someone else is doing it. So just because somebody is investing in cryptocurrency and whatever doesn't mean you also need to invest in it, irregardless of the fact that they may look like they're making money in it. You need to know how your investment is making money, and it needs to be logical to you. You need to understand how they're going to invest your money and how you're going to make returns out of it. So investing is a bit tricky. You need to do your own homework, and you need to ask around and read, and I think the most important thing, especially for upcoming CAs, is you need to get used, and you need to get to a point where you start reading companies reports. So companies release their financial reports in their websites every year. Just go in if you're looking to invest with, for example, Old Mutual. Just go to Old Mutual, download their management reports, and just look at it. Read the CEO's report, read the CFO's report. Look at what they want to do, look at what they want to invest in, because if you're looking to get an investment with Old Mutual, it's what is in their financials is probably what they want to invest in. So you will have sort of an idea of where your money is gonna go, and maybe they could basically have projections that you can see where your money is gonna go and how much return you're gonna make on your money. Another thing, you guys, with money is that when you start working, there are a lot of things that you want to buy that you couldn't afford before. So things like your cell phone contracts, and you get a credit card, because now you can afford these things, and now you can afford to pay back the money that you use, right? Getting a credit card is good, right? It's good for your credit rating, especially if you're going to pay it monthly, and you're going to pay the right amount at the right time. So be wary of getting into credit card debt that you can't pay. Be wary of living on credit cards, especially when you're still young, guys. We make these decisions and you think, oh my god, I have access to 50,000 rand, I can buy whatever I want. But the interest rates on credit cards is crazy. Just, I think about a month ago, I got a call and they were offering me a credit card at 20% interest rate. Imagine 20%. What kind of investment can you even invest in that gives you 20% return, right? So you need to be very wary of that, and don't misuse credit card money. Like, if you're gonna need a credit card, use it, but be sure to pay back that money every month, and pay the right amount at the right time. Do not default, because that will ultimately affect your credit score and your credit rating. The second thing is cell phone contracts. When I started working, guys, I was in need of a phone, okay? And at the time, I really wanted an iPhone, but I couldn't afford the iPhone that I wanted. So I decided, you know what, no, I'm not gonna buy an iPhone. I'm gonna maybe get something cheaper. And I did get something cheaper, but it was not on contract. I actually bought it cash. So I saved up to buy a phone, because I didn't want to get into a 2-year contract for a cell phone. Now, I'm not saying a 2-year contract for a cell phone is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing if you're gonna be able to afford that phone, and if it's gonna, you know, improve your life in one way or the other. It's not a bad thing. Credit cards are not bad. Please don't quote me, and I'm not saying they are bad. They are good if you're gonna follow the rules. They are good if you're gonna pay the money at the right time, at the right amount. Same thing with a cell phone contract. If you know you can afford to pay 395 rand on the cell phone contract for over 2 years, great. Just don't feel pressured to get something that is way expensive and way out of your financial boundaries, just because your peers and, you know, your colleagues have the new and the latest iPhone, or have the new and the latest car model. It's just not worth it. Stick to your limits. If anything, try to live below your means. And then the last but not, well, the list is not exhaustive, but I think the last thing for me is to develop a culture of saving, develop a culture of discipline when it comes to money. You don't want to be somebody who's living hand to mouth. So have a buffer, you know, like have an emergency fund. After you save into your emergency fund can be any amount that you want. It could be anything around 5,000 rand. It doesn't even have to be a lot, you guys. And then the rest of your money you can invest in something that you truly know and something that you truly understand. So those are my tips, and those are some of the things that I do as a young professional that is helping me in my finances to stretch my reins, and you know, be able to be flexible, you know, and do the things that I love to do. I love traveling, so I have a savings account for travel. I know this sounds weird, but I do. So I put money in there every month, and whenever I decide to pack up my bags, I pack up my bags and I go. So yeah, that's how I live, and that's how I've sort of developed a culture around money and savings. So if you really like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below and let me know what your relationship with money is like. Do you need a fixed savings account to actually save, or are you somebody who's disciplined enough not to transfer your money back? So I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much. Bye.